Now, obviously one's a 4-iron, one's a driver, but the swing was pretty much the same throughout the bag through 7-iron, 4-iron and driver, okay? You can see your initial takeaway now, if we put a line on here to start, and a line through the golf ball to your shoulder, okay? You can see as that club goes back now, it's going outside that swing plane line, very steep, and that club at that point there now is very much outside your hands, a long way. Okay, now if we compare it to your driver, what we're looking to try and do is get that club working up, your hands are working up that bottom blue line, so we get to the top of the backswing now, we're on that top blue line, so perfect. This one here now, as you start swinging, you're above that blue line, so therefore you've got to then reroute it to come back underneath, and it's that dropping underneath when you're timing the ball well, and as you said, when you're playing more regularly, it kind of works. And that's why when you got down to 5 handicap, you were playing quite regularly, so you kind of knew what that movement needed to be, and you compensate with your hand action with the golf ball, and sort of that being rude, 2 or 3 wrongs make a right, and the ball goes fine. But when you're playing as less frequently, as you are now, that timing and compensation isn't going to be as good, so therefore you'll start getting a few hooky ones. So as that club now goes back, we can now start trying to bring it down. There's still a little bit of a drop there, as we can see. That's not going to go like that. Okay. The takeaway, I think we can change that pretty quickly, as you proved. Okay, we can just work on that movement. You started doing sort of this practice drill here, where you're sort of working the golf club back. So your hands are working up that blue line at the bottom, as you can see, keeping the club now in front of you a bit more rather than sort of too far out and away. Don't try and get too far behind you, maybe. That's something we can sort of get a bit too far here.
Okay.
We're looking for the golf club to obviously work in front of your chest. It's not just drag your hands inside to stop the club going outside. The hand's still going to work back under the shoulders, as we can see when the golf ball does actually get swung. Hands are now working up nicely. So that's a good position. You're looking for basically the butt end of the golf club to be on that. What we're looking for now is the golf club to track back down on that blue line more this way, not go there and then there. And that's what we've got to drop. There's the club going down here and then back underneath. But as we can clear our body nicely, we can still release the club and the ball's not going to be hooky, okay? The reasons why you hook the golf ball is because the body kind of stops and starts rising back and away, and you flick it, exactly. And you know, impact's only got to be an inch or so different, if that. Half an inch or so is a massive difference at your distance at 250. So in time, if we can get that takeaway working better there as you go back, the need to try to drop the club underneath will not need to be there, basically. So you can start hitting some shots. Another good thing, like I said, I don't tend to teach draw or fade, okay? I want you to hit the shot you're most comfortable hitting, which is a draw. Okay? But it'd be quite good practice on the range just to try and maybe hit some fade shots, just to feel what you feel you need to do to bring the golf club back a bit more across this way rather than too far from the inside. Because the more you'll try and start swinging a bit more out to in and across, you'll get the club back in front of you better rather than underneath. And when you get underneath, your body has to come back, causes that flick hook. Okay, so the more the club can work back down in front of you, what we're trying to do is get an arc of the club, and this is probably where you started, say 20 years ago, maybe not, maybe a little bit later in the sort of golfing time. That's what the arc of the club should be doing, not that. The club doesn't swing from in to out, it swings from in to square to in. Now golfers are often to try and, to hit a draw you must swing from in to out. We're swinging the club into the golf ball and then around, in to square to back in again. We don't want the club to be going in and then out there somewhere, because that can create some obviously heely shots, and just say your hands are flicking over and your bad shot there, Mark's going to be going that way. And then when you're fearful of that shot, almost unconsciously, you'll aim further that way. So the club now is going to re-route even further more on the inside, so it's a vicious circle, more and more of a hook. And again, when you're on the golf course and shots aren't going where you want to go, especially with a driver or maybe the longer clubs, 3-wood, 5-wood, hybrid or whatever, you're on a golf course and they say out of bounds on the left hand side there, you'll step to the golf ball and go, I don't want to swing down, and you just stop everything, but the club has to keep going. The body can stop pretty quickly, but the club keeps going, flick hook, and you're out of bounds. So get the club back more in front rather than way out that way, back in line with the mirror there, as we can see, and now we can bring it back down basically on a one plane sort of movement rather than up out there and rerouting underneath. Okay, the reroute you knew was there, but to cure the reroute, don't just stop the reroute, because if you're out there somewhere you don't reroute, you'll come back into your left leg. So you kind of have to drop underneath. But if we can get that club going back, as we can see here now, more on line there to the camera. That one there. That for me is a good position there. Clubs over your toes, pointing straight back. Compare that to where you were there. Massive change. Okay, and that's with all clubs, obviously. Okay, makes sense. Right, have a couple more down with that, and then we'll.